Hello, it's Trust TV and it's 360 Sports where we talk about sports. We go 360, that's why it's called 360 Sport. Talk about tennis, boxing, handball, football, and all other sports you can think of. Sometimes it has to do with relevance, which of them is making the headlines and which of them is making relevance at a particular time. So that's what we'll be discussing a lot today, ranging from boxing, ranging from tennis to football, and some of the fixtures that we will be looking forward to watch this evening in the Europa League. Of course, we'll be having that discussion with a guest in the studio who will be analyzing some of these events for us. My name is Martia Umar. I'd like to say welcome again, but let's say welcome to our guest in the studio. Thank you so much, Coach, for having us.
Yes, thank you, Martia, and good evening.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you too. So let's get into talking right now. NPFL, of course. There's a new date now for the NPFL. We've been tipped that the 2022-2023 NPFL season gets tentative kickoff, and the date now it's to kick up in the month of December. You know, Coach, we're always having this problem anytime it comes to having the NPFL start. We're waiting for arrangement from the LMC, the IMC, the NFF. There seems to be a problem when we are to start the season, especially when it comes to NPFL in Nigeria. Now we have a new date, which is December. What would you say to this new kickoff date, and how would it affect the play in the Nigerian Professional Football League?
Yes, thank you, Martia. Yeah, Martia, it's one of the first problem we always have in our league. It's this trying to harmonize our kickoff dates together with as it goes with all over the world in Europe. If you check Europe, there's a time the season start. But this year it's a peculiar year because it's a World Cup year, and most people that have started league are trying to see how they can fix it in because of the World Cup. Mm-hmm. Yes, but again, you see, it's always been a problem because thank God the Sport Minister Sunday Dari came up and dissolved the former LMC and then appointed a new IMC, and with the new NFF president coming in, Guzo, which of course he was part of the team before, and with his experience and with this zeal he has to see us improve on the NPFL. Because the truth is this: if you don't have a good NPFL, we cannot have a good national team. And that is what is affecting our teams when they go to African continent. Look, now all our teams flying our flag in the African Champions League are all knocked out. Now, what is the reason? Now, the reason is this: you don't expect to go and play a competitive match when you are not playing games, when you are not match fit. Now, if you look at Europe, the Champions League is going on, and the various leagues are going on. Now, what does that make you? It makes the players fit. It makes them match fit for whichever game they are going to play. But in Nigeria, you see that players are on break. Then you bring these players from break and say you should come and go and play against a club like Esperance of Tunisia, and their league is going on, and these players are all fit. The coach has been able to impact his technical discipline into the players. They understand what they are meant to do. They've understood their tactics and formation, and they know what to play. And you're bringing some boys, your boy that were on holiday, and they start training. Training and friendly games cannot give you match fitness. There's no way it can do that, give you that. And you could see that's what affected a lot of them. A lot. Even though these players individually, the coaches, they try their best to see how they can put up a very good performance. But at the end of the day, you solve that fatigue setting in. I watched Plateau United, our match, the Confederation Cup against Esperance in Abuja here. It was very clear. The experienced boys were fitter. They had more understanding, and the Plateau boys, you see, they were just a bunch of individuals trying to see how they can play the game together. So I've always said it, not just the league side, but even the national team too. Like our child Eagles on the 23 teams. When your league is not going on, it's difficult to be able to pick players that are fit, match fit. So it's always good for the league to start, and as the league is progressing, these players can go and play continental games, come back, and what happens is maybe when you miss a game, you come, they schedule the game for you, play, but it gives them that fitness And that's what we've always been crying for, that our league should be humble. Our league should have a date, a starting date and an ending date. And the date should be together with how it is all over Europe football is played. So I will know you start this season as other players all around the world are going for break mid-season. We're also going for break and we resume together. But now they are for December 1st. I want to believe, I pray that this new IMC will not be like, will I say old wine, or let's say new wine in old wine skin, will not be the same set of people. They should be able to give a date and the date will start. Although yesterday they had a meeting trying to see how they can get TV rights, because one of the things that will make the league improve is to have a television right where NTA, Trust TV, all TVs can show this game live. That is the only thing that can give that commercial aspect to our league and make our league much better than it is. So I think they had a meeting trying to get and see how they can work, which is a very good step in the right direction for this IMC to really start off with. I commend them on that, and I hope they get success and be able to also have a sponsor for the league. But for the date to commence 1st December, well, I just pray it's not what we are used to in the past. They give a date, later they change the date and put another date. So I pray this time around it starts on 1st December and we know when it's going to end. And if it ends, we should be able to also harmonize it. Let's the ball start the same way it starts all over Africa and Europe. And that is when our football, we're going to start getting that's what always clamor for in getting our football being played.
I think that's what affected the boys when they were playing the CAF Champions League.
Yeah, that was
they were match rusty.
They were match rusty.
And it took them a while to adjust. It took them a very, very long time.
It took them a while to adjust. So you could see what happened yesterday. They came back for the second tier of CAF, which is the Confederation Cup. And you saw them beating their teams, scoring many goals. Ruthlessly. Now, why is it that? Because they've been able to gather some match playing time, gather some experience, played against some tougher opponents, get some little bit of understanding. The coaches understand where they have problems and they're able to make some correction. And we saw the result against this in the lower league, Confederation Cup. See them beating them 5-0, 4-1, which is a very good one for them. But all these things, if these boys are not kept in competitive game and it doesn't start early, it only affects in the football. That's the thing, because as a sportsman, if you no matter how, if you put in a lot of energy in training and you have what they call downtime, you don't train for 2-3 days, it affects your physical fitness in anything you do. That's the truth. So we saw an improved team playing better than they played before. We saw them being able to hold the ball, retain the ball, get the ball, release the ball, and of course that's the most important thing. They played so well. Plateau United did very well. I was impressed with them because in football, there are two positions in football. If you are with the ball, you are attacking. If you're not with the ball, you are defending. That is football. Football is just two ways. If you are with the ball, you are attacking. If you're not with the ball, you are defending. So I was able to see that thing come out to play in the match. I watched the match from beginning to the end yesterday. I was able to see this team apply the 3 R's. That's what they call the 3 R's in football. 3 R's in football is you receive the ball, you retain the ball, and you release the ball. So if you can cope these 3 things into your team at any time, you always have the upper hand against your opponent anytime you play football.
I hope they release the ball into the net every time.
And that was why they got the goals.
Exactly.
4-1-5-0.
4-1-5-0. That's a very impressive result.
Yeah, very impressive one.
Now the NPFL has gotten a date, but we know that anytime the NPFL starts in the country, see that some clubs are paying fines. There's maybe some kind of chaos when some teams travel to play a match, maybe a home game. Mostly we've seen that Kano Pillars, Plateau United, we've seen Remo Stars, of course, paying fines and all other things associated, negative things associated with the NPFL. And now we're starting, there's a new interim management committee to, go through all of this, improve the NPFL, and let's see what we can make of the league. You've also mentioned that, media coverage is something that will help. So what can we do? We've been hearing match fixing rumors. Somebody has been suspended recently. That's Awal Baba Jada. And what can we do, basically, to improve the league and then free the league from all of this negative impact it has had all over the years?
Yes, thank you, Maradia. Yeah, the truth is this. This is one of the ugly things, negative that comes about sport all over the world. Match fixing is something that have always been there from day one.
Exactly.
When we play football, and it's something that the authorities have tried their so much to see how they can crop. And that's why if you are involved in match fixing, in fact, they don't only ban you, they ban you from even watching football, even in your house. They give you a ban, they don't even watch, even in your house, you don't even watch football. That's how bad it goes, because it's not a good thing. I mean, it's one of the ugliest, especially in Nigeria, NPFL. We've seen it happen a lot. We see this match fixing going on so much. And the good thing about this is that with this step of getting the media involved, this will help to reduce the extent of match fixing, because when you know the whole world is watching you, everybody's watching you, the people in the stakeholders are watching you. Of course, when you play, even as a referee, you're going to be very, you'll be very cautious, because you know you need to give a good account of yourself. So I think these are the negativities that comes with the game sport. And I think so far so good. One of the things we have to stand on our feet. Search for all these things, punish the people that are involved in these things, try as much as we can to curb all this negativity that comes into the game in football. And so far so good. I want to believe that with this new IMC that are on board, I want to believe, because with the people that are involved in it, these are people that have been part of sport before. These are people that have played football to the highest level. Someone like Omokachi and Co in that level. So they know what to do and they know what to expect. So I want to believe that with this, I want to give them, let's see what happens this league. Last season's NPFL was better in terms of officiating. I didn't see it was a very, very good one.
Yes.
Very good. Officiating was perfect, which shows that gradually we are beginning to see our referees becoming better. And you can see, because our officiating was good, we're able to have our referees participating even in the CAF Continental Cup for the first time. You are seeing referees going for World Cup, female World Cup for the first time in a long time, because of how well they performed this league.
NPFL.
So I think with this new NPFL coming in, I think all these things like crowd hooliganism, you go to referees, they fight people, they beat people, all these things have always been the ugly thing that has spoiled the game, beautiful world of football. But again, all these things are things that we need to keep on cropping, keep on suspending, keep on paying fine, keep on seeing how we keep doing it. I believe, and I want to be sure that before the end of this season, we are going to see a better, improved NPFL with a lot of positivity coming out from it.
Yeah, talking about paying of fines, it could have helped, because in 2020 we saw as high as 5 million naira being slammed on a particular club. And that was Kano Pillars at that point. And then we saw Plateau United also receiving their own share of fine. But away from the Nigerian Professional Football League, let's get into boxing. One man that has made Nigeria proud, Anthony Joshua, made Britain proud as well. He's actually calling out to better boxers. You know, he wants to fight good opponents like Otto Wallen and Dillian White. Do you think he has what it takes, John G, from the past artisan? Look at Dillian White and Otto Wallen. You know, their age, 30, 33, and then we have wins that they've got. We've seen them perform well. Let's say not too better than Anthony Joshua, because it's just, you know, Anthony Joshua has just been struggling just this few months. What do you think? Do you think Dillian White or Otto Wallen could be a better opponent for Anthony Joshua?
Yes, thank you, Maria. Of course, for Anthony Joshua, you know, there have been a lot of speculation about him. Even his fight he was supposed to have with Fury Wilder. At the point, it was pulled off because they said he was not forthcoming. He wanted to get the fight. Yes, I think Joshua psychologically had a lot of issues after losing his last two matches. He lost those games after putting up a lot of fight, a lot of training to win, and he lost them. So I think for me, I think Joshua still have what it takes to still become the world champion. He still has it in him. And I believe in him, and I know he is going to get there. But I think right now, he needs to manage his emotion at this point, psychologically get him away from the game, try to talk to him, try to get his confidence back. And I think that's what he's doing. I think he said he wants to choose his opponent right now. And he has chosen two opponents. I think he wants to start from them. So I have no doubt that Joshua will beat any of his opponents, given the right support and the right state of mind if he has to go. Because boxing is not just about the strength, but also about the mentality and then your state of mind whenever you are going to box. So I think Joshua right now needs to just slow down. Let's see how this year, of course, this year is almost coming to an end.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see how well he's going to train. Remember that this same fighter changed his coach sometime the beginning of this year. When he lost the fight, he had to get another coach, try to work on the things he felt that he wasn't good at, his punches, his movement, try to work on all these things. And then still, he lost his other boot. So he wasn't knocked out, but to the judges' decision.
Of course, he did very well in the last match.
Which will have gone either way. You know, so I don't want to say because he's black, I don't want to go in there. Of course, sport, I don't want to start sounding like because he's black, they could have also given him the judgment or this, or because they were sympathetic to the other fighter coming from Ukraine, I don't want to just go there. Whatever happens has happened. But I think he didn't lose that fight. He wasn't beating blue-black. He stood his ground, he gave a good account of himself, but he lost due to technical decision from the judges, which of course can go either way. For me, just like playing penalties. Penalty can go either way. Penalty is not, if nobody's a master of it.
Exactly.
So I felt that was what happened. He took that fight to the penalties, and of course penalty can go either way.
It really hurts when you lose through penalty.
Through penalties, yeah. A match he knows he should have won.
Exactly.
So for me, I think Joshua need to just, for me, my advice for him is to slow down. If he can go get off this year, keep training, and then come back next year stronger, I'm sure he's going to pick up his title back. All
right, away from boxing, let's take a look at football again, where we have son Ming Hoon. He is going to be, he might likely be out of the World Cup because he sustained an injury when his club played Marseille. It's looking pretty bad for a Tottenham Hotspur player. Son is he's an integral part of Tottenham Hotspur. This is somebody we saw from Bayer Leverkusen, and then, you know, he and Harry Kane had this connection from the beginning. They've been scoring, but, you know, he came in and said, I want to win laurels for this club. I want to win laurels with Tottenham. But we haven't seen much of that. And now he's not getting, he might not be attending the World Cup. What do you think about this?
Yes, it's quite sad for me. You know, Son, so Son is a player that, for his performance this season, have raised a lot of clubs in Europe are watching him. Clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona are putting their focus as that's floodlight or the satellite is on Son. That'll show you how well this player has been able to has improved for himself and for his club. Son has done really well. I mean, at a point, I felt Son, Tottenham was built around Son. Yeah, for you to get Harry Kane into the game, Son must be play well.
Exactly.
Anytime Son doesn't play well, Tottenham suffers.
Yes.
That's the truth. But if his Son plays well, Tottenham wins. So I think Son has done so well. Not just that, the player he has been so disciplined, he has been so humble. And again, he's not a player that's injury prone. He's a player that you hardly hear him having injuries. And you haven't hear him having issues on and off the pitch. He's a very disciplined player. So it's so sad for me. You know, I was talking to somebody, I said, this is the World Cup here. You know, World Cup here, for me, especially this particular World Cup, it's a peculiar one that is coming in between the season, which is unlike before. Of course, the World Cup will be done in the summer and you cannot go into sport. This is going to happen in between the season. So most times for a lot of players right now, World Cup is their focus. For all the players that are going to World Cup right now, World Cup is the target for them. Not even the club self. Their idea is to World Cup. You can see a player like Sergio Ramos of PSG. This player at a point, in fact, even PSG were like trying to terminate his contract because of injury. But you can see, because of World Cup, you can see the motivation just that World Cup has brought for him. He has been playing so well for his club that he has even made the 51-man list, professional list for the Spanish team going to the World Cup. So World Cup here, it's a year that actually World Cup that every player wants to go to the World Cup. If you ask Son now, his fear is the World Cup.
Exactly.
Not even because you know in your club, if you stay 1 month without playing, you have 38 games or more to play. So you can always come back and play towards the end of the season. But for World Cup, if you want to go to the World Cup, it's a big blow.
You have to wait another 4 years.
And you are not guaranteed what happens to you in that 4 years. Your body may not give you the same way it's giving you now.
He's 30.
Yeah, he's 30. So when he's 34, nobody knows what will happen. He may not even have a starting shirt playing for your club. So every player, and that's why a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, you see him doing all he did. His tantrum, working out, stepping out, all is because of the World Cup.
Exactly.
So World Cup is a very peculiar year. So I hope he recovers. I hope, because even Saka, there was scared that Saka in the last match, Bukayo Saka for Arsenal, he went off. So they were scared that he was not going to go to the World Cup. But he's back training now with his team. So every player, World Cup is the prize for them right now.
The likes of De Gea do not have any hope because he was not listed.
Okay, he was not listed in the World
Cup.
Cup.
And Pogba too is out.
Yeah, he's out, injured too.
Yes.
He's out injured, he has not played for Juventus. Yesterday, Juventus were playing PSG. I saw him at the stand, he was at the stand. So I was like, wow, so we're not going to see this man at the World Cup. Of course, we want to see the best players at the World Cup. The World Cup is where you see all the best players. If you know you're a world-class player, you need to be at the World Cup to show you're a world-class player.
And Antonio Conte is losing men like Richarlison is not back. We saw the light of Dejan is not back. So we're happy that Lucas Moura is back, and let's see what will add to the team now that one of his key players is actually out for now.
Yes, that's the thing. Of course, that's one thing in football. You know, football injuries are part of the things that make up football. And that's why every club, you need to have depth. The depth is, you know, you can have players you can always call up from the bench to come to it and replace injuries. Injuries, you can't take it out from football. It comes in football and it's sad whenever it comes. And for a player like Son, that for me has given, 60% of Tottenham good football play, for me, I owe it to Son being very fit and being able to make a lot of impact for Tottenham. So him going out injured right now, of course, is going to affect even the coach, even the players too. It's going to affect all of them. They will all be demoralized. But again, this football, you have to keep playing. You have to call up a player from the bench and see how well they could replace. Of course, we've seen where some players have injury and you bring an unknown player from the bench, and that player.
Exactly, everybody's waiting for an opportunity.
Guess what? He picks the opportunity, and you are like, wow. So we had this player on the bench.
Where have you been?
Where have you been? So we've seen that happen a lot. So I pray for Son. I wish him quick recovery. I hope he can still make the World Cup. From the injury, he said he has to undergo eye surgery.
Yes.
I don't know how long.
He'll be playing. I think they will be playing Uruguay. South Korea will be playing Uruguay on the 24th of November.
Yeah.
So it's just interval of days. And we've seen people go on, two cases are not alike, but we've seen people go for surgery before the World Cup, and we see them play.
You see them play, yes.
So
after
let's see
the
what
first, second,
happens.
how far they go, yeah. So I think Son is a player they really
Kevin
need.
De Bruyne actually had that problem, and then he played in the World Cup.
Yeah, he played, of course, giving them to rest.
All right, so let's quickly look at tennis, where Rafael Nadal, after having a baby, he's out of the Paris Masters tournament. And of course, we have the likes of other people winning. We have Dan Evans and Jack Draper have been eliminated from the Masters, the Grand Masters. I call that match the Grand Masters because it's the Paris Masters, and every tennis player is looking forward to play there. And for Rafael Nadal, who has won the Paris Masters a lot of times, not being able to play at this point where he has lost his first few matches. I think that speaks volume for him. Do you think that he's trying to hang boot already?
Of course, it's natural.
Yes.
One thing in sports, there must be a time you need to start winding down and start calling it quit. And it's happening right now because, of course, age is a very important thing in sport, and that's why most times they try to look at how old you are. To get into sport. Once you get to a certain age, like 30, a lot of things are naturally they expect people to start coming up, start taking your position, and you start, of course, thinking of hanging your boot, or you struggle more. Because for someone like at that age, you need to work hard more to keep your fitness level the same with the younger ones coming up with you. So for me, Rafael Nadal is a great player. He has done so well. His experience you can't take off his experience in the court from him. He has so much experience, and of course, at a point, experience alone does not win a match for you. You also need that fitness and, of course, staying away from injury to be able to win matches. So it's a sad one for him, but again, there are times you need to know that you need to. That did that too. During his time when he came on court, he did that too to some other great players.
Exactly.
He did the same thing to them. He was knocking them off, beating them, and getting. So it's
time. When your time comes, you just have to, wind it down.
Wind it down.
But let's take a look at the matches for today in the Europa. Of course, we have matches that will be going down tonight. We have the likes of Arsenal, of course, Zurich They'll be locking hands with Zurich, Bodo Glimt, and the PSV Eindhoven. And of course, Rennes will be in action with AEK Larnaca, Dynamo Kiev with Fenerbahce, Roma with Ludogorets Razgrad, and Sporting Braga with Malmö FF, and Union Saint with FC Union Berlin. We also have, of course, the like of Manchester United. Of course, they're playing this evening. Real Sociedad, they'll be facing Real Sociedad this evening. Now, let's take a look at the matches that will be standing out. We saw the likes of Arsenal, of course, in the Europa, Manchester United, Juventus, Barcelona. Now, Arsenal, Zurich, do you see...
Barcelona.
Barcelona is not here yet, but of course they are here. I don't know how that happened, but they are in Europa.
I know you are right. But for second season, they are in Europa. Yes, well, I hope they win this one to justify coming to Europa.
Oh,
yes,
okay. You're tipping out, but a lot of people are saying Arsenal, Manchester United might be favourite to win the Europa this season.
No, they really, for me, for Arsenal, my fear for Arsenal is this, and I keep telling everybody that's my fear. As my fear for Arsenal is their depth. When I mean depth is your bench. Who do you have? If you call out the first team of Arsenal, now getting a second 11 that you can call up from the bench to come in,
it's empty.
That's where I have worry, because injuries will come. Just like Son has injury, injuries might come. So you look at all these things now. Now what happens if a player like Saka is injured, Gabriel Jesus goes injured, Partey goes injured?
Just injured. That's a problem.
It's a problem for Arsenal. That's all. And that's my fear for them.
They should keep praying none of these players.
That's my fear for them. Yes, and the good thing for them is a lot of their players are not going to the World Cup for Arsenal. So at the end of it, they may have some more players to rest coming again this season. But again, Arsenal needs to get a point in this match if they have to top their group and avoid meeting likes of Barcelona or likes of big boys coming in. To avoid them, you need to top your table. And I think that's what is in the mind of Arteta today. He knows he needs to pick a point, or he needs to win the match. The last match, they won 5-0 against Nottingham Forest.
Yes.
It was a good game for them. It shows that this Arsenal team, I'm not taking that away from them. This team, they know what they want. Arteta knows what he wants. He knows where he's going to. The players know what they want. I mean, they've trained so well. They are good. They have good understanding. Their ball playing is wonderful. Their vision, everything they play for themselves. Their energy, their age, youthfulness, everything is wonderful. I tip this Arsenal team to go very far.
They have never won it, so...
Yeah, they never won to go very far.
Yes.
But again, coming against an experienced team like FC Barcelona, coming to the Europa, people like Lewandowski, people like Pedri and co, yeah, that's where they may have a problem. Yeah, with people like Man U, Ronaldo being in the Europa. So
and Juventus.
So Juventus comes. So Europa this time around it's going to be like a mini Champions
League. And that's what we're looking for. We want to see all of the actions and the feels and the drama that comes with it, because the use of this VAR now is causing a lot of troubles for teams. And, FIFA has rules. There are rules. UEFA have rules. And some people are not really accustomed with this rule. So you see somebody watching and says, this is Ujoro. This is not supposed to happen. This is cheating. But thank you so much, Coach, for being a part of this program today, 360 Sports. We should have you very soon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Maria. I look forward to having you, to be with you soon, too.
All right. Thank you very much for being a part of 360 Sports this evening. We'll see you again next time, same station. For comments and, of course, for updates, you can follow us across all our social media platforms. My name is Martia Umar. Bye for now.